So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD. Thank you for joining me, where today we're going to be talking about Infinite Warfare Zombies and a really exciting update coming during this month. Now you're probably thinking, John, what the hell? You're covering Infinite Warfare? And yes, I still enjoy the game. I know a ton of you guys watching still enjoy the game, and if you do, that's great. If you don't, then that's fine as well. Hopefully, what I'm going to tell you in this video might interest you to jump on the game during this month of October. Now, this info all comes from a Reddit thread posted by WooLad666, which mentions new IW message of the day images for Halloween event. So this is something which obviously is in the game a little bit earlier than when it was supposed to, but it gives us a really good vibe of a really cool Halloween event that Infinite Warfare is going to be hosting with zombies. Now, we've not had a Halloween event before in zombies, so this is really cool. The only sort of seasonal events we've had ever is the 8 Days of the Undead with Zombie Chronicles, which didn't quite work. So it's really cool to see that Infinity Ward is still supporting the game in such a huge way, and they're gonna go with a bang during this Halloween event. Now, there are some images included which were found within the PC version of the game, and these include images of every DLC map as well as Zombies in Spaceland with icons for each of the bosses, which is really cool. We have the Alien, we have the Slasher, we have the Rat King, we have the Radioactive Thing, we also have the Rhino, and then we also have an image of what appears to be zombies and a question mark behind it, which I can only assume to be related to Mephistopheles. But what I think is being hinted here is RW might be updating the game with a boss mode mechanic, which will also activate quad feed for double XP and double keys, as well as double weapon XP. So essentially, it's going to be a huge time for you to jump on the game and absolutely grind your way with all of the crazy quad XP that's being activated. And there also is going to be a specific Halloween sort of zombies crate, which is either going to be just for zombies or it's something which will be a multiplayer as well. But it's Halloween specific, which could involve perhaps maybe new cards in the game, perhaps some exclusive weapon variants which will have a spooky Halloween theme inside of zombies. We see this with a zombies image from Raven the Redwoods, so it's really exciting, and I'm really happy that IW are doing this. Now, since the release of DLC 4, Lee Ross as well as Brian Bright have been teasing that something big is going to be coming with the Xbox and PC releases of DLC 4. It's going to be an entirely new mode. A lot of us have been expecting it to be Chaos Mode, which, if you guys don't know, is a mode that was introduced in MW3 where essentially you have to keep killing and getting a massive kill combo. This was brought back into Extinction in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it was fairly decent. It worked pretty well, and I feel like they would be sort of doing themselves a disservice to bring it back, because I think everyone's really fatigued that it didn't really offer much. But with all these images, there is a big focus specifically on the bosses within each of these maps, and a few people on Reddit suggested this could be some sort of boss mode. Now, when I say boss mode, I can only really think of this as one thing, and the fact is perhaps maybe you can jump into these maps, and instead of doing the Easter egg to get to the boss fights, you could simply do the boss fights there and then. I think I can speak for a large majority of people when I say that we really enjoy these maps because the boss fights are really fun and feel very rewarding when you complete them, such as the Spaceland boss fight. I literally done that the other day again. Fighting those aliens is still just as exhilarating to me as it was when the game first came out. Perhaps this event could work as a daily event mechanic where you'd go in and there would be a focus on killing a certain boss in one of these maps to get yourself a reward, and then the next day you jump into another map and you defeat a different boss. That would be really cool and would incentivize you to replay these Easter eggs, especially help out those that don't have the soul keys or don't have the talismans yet, and you can use Director's Cut and essentially have a great time. Now, for any of you which are doubtful, BBAT, who's one of the main moderators for the Call of Duty Zombie subreddit, verified that this isn't fake. These are indeed real images, and they're within the PC build of Infinite Warfare. If this is a boss mode in the sense of you being able to jump straight to these boss fights, that would be really cool, because I know quite a few of you guys may never even get to these boss fights because it's, you know, might seem like a daunting task going through all these Easter eggs. It'll be interesting to see however this boss mode works, or whatever this is, if it will give you the soul key and the talismans for Director's Cut at the end of the fight. It'd be really interesting, and I don't know. to me, it sounds like IW have been working on something whilst they've been doing this DLC and, of course, the Super Easter Egg boss fight, and Lee Ross seems very excited for us to learn more. How would you guys like a mode where you could simply jump straight to the boss fights and you could complete them and be rewarded for it? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section if you're excited by this. I don't know exactly what this is going to be, only time will tell, but it's so good that even though the game has sort of a mixed reception, they're still really supporting the game all the way up to the release of World War II. And, you know, the IW devs are very passionate with what they do, and I really think they've delivered a really good season of zombies this year. It's been very different to what we normally expect, but I've really enjoyed it, and whatever this turns out to be, I'll be sure to cover it for you guys whenever this drops, this Halloween event, and I'll inform you on more. Would you want Treyarch to do something like this? And if you were to want Treyarch to do a Black Ops 3 Zombies Halloween event, how exactly would you want them to implement that? Would you want them to change some of the maps, perhaps like Drak, add like pumpkins or something spooky like that, maybe perhaps some tiny new Easter eggs? If IW could add new Easter eggs in Director's Cut, perhaps they could add new Easter eggs again with this Halloween event. I don't know, only time will tell, but let me know what you think. If you're excited, drop a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you with some more zombie videos very, very soon.